What's going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. How are you all feeling about the result yesterday and the performance against Liverpool? I'm absolutely ecstatic with that. Finally, we showed a bit of fight that we've been missing all season. I've not seen us play like that in a long time. Finally, Spurs showed a bit of fight, showed a bit of determination, and got a valuable point. Yeah, it wasn't a win, but it feels like a win, doesn't it? It feels like a defeat for Liverpool, and we were excellent. So we've got to be very happy. How are you feeling about that? I'm over the moon. I'm really happy at that, but it can't stop there. It's got to carry on to the next game against Forest. Athletic Madrid obviously we got on Wednesday, which is a big game in itself, but who's really bothered about that game? I'd say play the kids. The aim is to stay in the Premier League. That's the aim, and we need to do that. So that's a write-off. We're not going to, I'll be surprised if we turn around and score 3 goals and knock Athletic Madrid out. But even if we do, what's the chance of us actually winning the Champions League? The biggest game is Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Massive game, probably the biggest game in our history. Yeah, you could say the Champions League final or the Europa League final are big, massive games. But the Nottingham Forest one is even bigger because it determines whether we stay in the Premier League or not. It's not a guarantee whether if we win, we stay up. If we lose, we go down. But losing it would be catastrophe for the loser. I think the loser probably does go down. The winner probably does stay up. Gives you that momentum. Nottingham Forest are nothing special. Spurs are not really much special either. But surely that point has got to give us a bit of a lift. Got to give us a bit of a belief that we can turn this around, that we can stay in the Premier League. What I liked about the performance yesterday was that injuries always have all these injury issues, and we played with no fear mentality. Bit of a we're gonna lose anyway. We're gonna get battered anyway, so we might as well just go for it. That's what I felt like yesterday. I felt a little bit like that. I felt the players were like that. We're gonna lose anyway, so just go for it. And the longer it went 1-0, the more confident the players got, the more confident I got that we might get something. I still thought as the game went on, we might, we didn't have that cutting edge. We didn't have that clinical cutting edge. I thought maybe it just wasn't going to be our day. Richarlison seemed to have all our chances when we did have chances. But you could just tell from his performance, he had the determination to try and score. It's against Liverpool, his old rival. He always scores against them, 6 goals or something against Liverpool, 5 at Anfield. He loves scoring against Liverpool. You seem to tell he was determined to make it happen. His goal wasn't the cleanest of strike. He fluffed it. But that those sort of goals go in. They're the type of goals that do end up finding the back of the net. If he hit it properly, Alisson probably would have saved it. All the other chances, all the other chances he had were probably more clear cut and Alisson saved. But it doesn't matter. They all go in. I'm very happy at that. Very happy with the performance. Hopefully, this is the turning point now. To make sure we stay up. It'll be absolutely disastrous if Spurs go down. This probably be the biggest club, ever to go down for the Premier League. Not the best side, but probably the biggest club, biggest stadium. So it'll be absolutely disastrous. If West Ham or Forest go down, it's not as much of a big deal. No disrespect to those clubs, but they've been down there in recent seasons. Spurs haven't. So Spurs dropping into Championship will be the biggest story. So let's hope it's a turning point. But with Spurs, you never know what's going to happen. They'll surely find a way to bring us down a peg or two. But let's just see. Hopefully that's the springboard to more wins. Like I said, Forest now on Sunday is massive. If we lose that, then the whole story is going to be about Tudor again. Is he the right man for the job? But at the moment, let's just enjoy the point we have. It was a nice feeling to not lose. And yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it springboards us to success. Our record at Anfield is shocking. I haven't won this since 2011. We've don't have a great record at Anfield. We always lose. I remember a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, we're 3-0 down after 15 minutes there, and then we had no pressure. We went for it a bit more, got back to 3-0, And that game summed up Spurs when we got back to 3-0. It just summed us up. Ended up conceding straight after that 4-3, gut-wrenching feeling. But hopefully, that point springboards us to staying in the Premier League. I'm just going to read this comment here. Big up the world's greatest. Afternoon, massive point for us yesterday. Funny time to have a live. Yeah, I know. You know what? I wasn't going to do a live today. I was going to have a bit of a break, but I thought, you know what, I'll just do one. Hopefully people come on. If people don't, then fair enough. Come on for a little while, see how we get on, and just if people come on, I'll stream for a bit longer. If they don't, then won't stream as long. But I thought I'd just come on because I'm fairly new. I'm still trying to build my channel, so I think the more I'm out there, the more chances people will come on and like or subscribe or whatever. But yeah, it was a massive point yesterday. Feels like a win. I don't know about you, but I feel like it feels like a win for me. Cheers, mate. Still nerve-wracking. Hate talking on the camera. Absolutely hate it. But I love talking about Spurs, even though they stress me out. It's much easier when other people on here with me. But I thought I'd just do it on my own and see how I get on today. But I'll be coming on Thursday, probably after today. Thursday will be the next time, and I'll have a couple of guests on there with me, and it'll just be so much easier. But yeah, so you know, like I said, just got to get out there and just do my thing and just see how things go, really. So, was Dreyers, yeah, we could have won right at the end. Yeah, we could have won right at the end. Probably should have won right at the end. Liverpool aren't great. I've got a mate who's a Man United fan that kept saying we're going to get battered, and I thought we were going to get battered as well. And then we end up drawing, and then he comes out and says, well, Liverpool aren't that good anyway. Well, hang a minute, you just said we were going to get battered a minute ago, so make up your mind. I'm just taking the top off. Something got really hot. So yeah, make up your mind, mate. You know, 1 minute we're going to get battered, or the next minute, you know, Liverpool aren't that great. So I think it's just an anti-Liverpool thing, to be honest. But yeah, I thought we were going to, you know, get something at the end, but see, it wasn't meant to be. But a point's a point. Points, I'm happy with that. I thought we were going to lose, but this isn't the same Liverpool side. Something's clearly not right at that club, but I don't care. It's all about Tottenham. But what do you think? Do you think this is the start of a momentum changing, or do you think this is just typical Spurs? Give us a bit of hope, and they'll suck it out of us. What do you think? But yeah, hopefully it's the start of something, you know. But you can never tell when it comes to Tottenham, can you? But yeah, so hopefully it's something we can build on. So yeah, the biggest positives of the game I found was Richarlison. I thought he was excellent. Really caused Van Dijk all sorts of issues. But you know what? He has it in him. He's that type of player. He can cause all sorts of defenders issues on his day. But very frustrating. Doesn't show it enough for me. But yeah, he's definitely can be a handful. But yeah, I thought he was excellent. I thought Kevin Danso was excellent. I thought Souza, what a player he is, what a young player he is. Very talented footballer. I was impressed when he came in as Man United the other week. But yeah, I was very impressed with Souza. Let's see. What was great is just hope the momentum changing. But Forest is a very hard game on Sunday. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Forest is a hard game. But they're not on great form themselves. They've not won in the league since Pereira's come in. But it'll be typical if they'll beat us. Our home form is really poor. So hopefully we can win. But I'm not saying it's going to be easy at all. And also put Danso and Richie stand out for players for me. I agree with you there. I thought Danso, like I said a minute ago, I thought Danso was excellent at the back. And he's so much passion that definitely he could be a future captain for Spurs. You can tell he gets it. He gets the club. Definitely, I think he's a really good player. I'd rather have him than over Van der Ven and Romero at times because he doesn't do anything stupid. He wants to play for Spurs. You can tell. Romero and Van der Ven, unsure whether they actually want to play for Spurs. Some of their decision making is absolute shocking. But it is what it is. I also, like I said, I thought Sousa was excellent. I thought Gray done all right in midfield, and Sarr. I thought Tell done all right as well at times, but there was a few really good positives from the game. But it's easy when the pressure's off. I mean, when Liverpool weren't taking the chances, it felt like the players didn't have that pressure. So, we need to build on that. Bear me a second, everyone. I've just got to do something quickly. Just stay with me, though. Bear me a second. Sorry about that. Goldie has to go in the summer. It's all over the place, proper scatty. Yeah, we've not had a decent goalkeeper in ages, and Vicari just doesn't do it for me. Kinsley's young, but he just makes too many, he makes errors as well. Vicario, he should have dealt with that free kick. Absolutely shocking goalkeeping for that free kick. Should have saved it. The top keeper would have done. So that's disastrous. So he needs to go in the summer, no matter what happens. And I think he will actually. I think he'll be on his way out no matter what in the summer. Head into Milan, sniffing around for him. Sooner Tudor comes back, the better. The 3 months out might take him some time to get up and run. And yet, I know. Well, we've got loads of players out missing, haven't we? We've got Tudor to come back, Birdveld to come back, Bentancur. But yeah, Tudor, we need him desperately. We need all these players back. If we can get them back, then hopefully they give us the springboard to stay in the lead. But yeah, so hopefully they come back sooner or later. But we'll have to see. But hopefully, massive result for us. Just a point, but a point to point, and we did really well to get the point. So I'm happy about that. I'm not gonna dismiss us getting a draw. So our team looks more organised yesterday against Liverpool. And I've been saying for ages that we've not showed any fight at all. And I think yesterday we did show fight. The players actually fought for the club, and that was good to see. But obviously it can't stop there. It needs to change. But we'll hopefully, we'll see what happens. Hopefully that's the start of it. But Liverpool were shocking. I'll tell you, shocking. We were good, but Liverpool were shocking. So hopefully that's hopefully it's not just a blip, not just a one-off performance, and we do go on a bit of a run now and get out of this situation. We should never be in the position we are in, never in a million years. In the past, the Liverpool side of Klopp, when Klopp was manager, and we'd have been blown away in that game. So it's good that obviously it's positivity that we got a point from it. I'm very happy of it. But like I said, it can't be a one-off. It can't. Sorry, look, guys, my daughter's crying. Bear me a second, everyone. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. I do apologise. Not going good so far. My daughter was crying, so I had to try and sort it out. My missus is in, but I went to have a look to see what's happening. Get yourself a desk, mate. Have a desktop set up. Probably a lot easier for you too. Yeah, to be honest, my partner's moving house soon, so I will be getting one when she moves house. But at the moment, the bed's enough to do. That's the downside. But yeah, so it is what it is. Hopefully, I'll get one soon, and yeah, it'll be all right. Bear me a second. So obviously yesterday, we obviously we played well, but we're still not clinical enough. I thought Solanke had a poor game for us yesterday. It's Richarlison that obviously had all our chances, but we're still not clinical enough. That's my concern. I was on another stream having a debate saying Richarlison, he's our top slow scorer. Yeah, he is, but he's our top slow scorer at a team that's 17th in the league. Still not good enough. Solanke was poor, and I do like Solanke, but he wasn't that good, and we're not clinical enough. The times when we had the Kanes and the Sons and we were clinical in front of goal, they're over. But now, we don't have those type of players, and the players who probably would be clinical are out injured. But we do need definitely a massive rebuild in the summer, no matter what happens. And I include Richarlison in that. Yeah, he played well, and he probably need him now to try and get us out of the situation. But I think it's time for him to go in the summer. I don't know what you think. I just think his time at Spurs is up. Not being good enough overall, and had a few injury issues. Yeah, he played well yesterday, but he's not done it consistently enough for me. And I just think that we need a new rebuild, new squad completely. We should not be near the bottom. We should be near the top. I'm not saying challenging for the title or anything, but I do think we should be up, challenging for those European places with the budget, with the stadium we have, with the facilities. And even the squad isn't as bad as 17th in the league or 16th in the league. It's not the best squad in the world, but we shouldn't be struggling. We should still be in top half of the table at least with the side we have. And if we had all our fit players, we probably would be up there. But it's a shame. It's a shame it's been like this. But to be honest, the ownership hasn't done us any favours. The recruitment team haven't. The medical team haven't. So that's the reason we're in the situation we're in. But hopefully it can only get better. So I thought game management. I thought two of the substitutions yesterday were on part. Were excellent. I thought game management was excellent. I just thought everything about yesterday was excellent. And for once, I wasn't annoyed with the performance. Usually, I storm off. I'm so annoyed the way they play. But yesterday, I was actually encouraged by the performance, and very happy when we scored. But like I said, we need to carry it on. We can't just stop there. We need to try. We need to beat Forest now. Must win against Forest. But with our home form, is anyone really that confident we'll beat Forest? Even if we did get a point. But we might do, but Forest are not playing well either. But they've got some good players, Forest. They shouldn't be in this position they're in now. I think they've got a better side than us. But we need a home support, need to get right behind them. And we need right behind the boys, and we need to get out of this situation. If we beat Forest, I think we'll stay up. I honestly believe that. But if we lose, I think we'll go down. But it is squeaky bum time. It's getting nervous down at the bottom of the league. But yeah, so it is. Yeah, it's not very nerve-wracking. We're not used to being in this position. We've never really been down here have we before. But it is what it is. Hopefully, we just need a new board as well to completely rip it up. Complete ownership, complete board structure needs to go completely. The owners ain't been good enough. 25 years they've been at a club. What ownership stays at the same club for 25 years? It's an absolute joke what they've done to this club. Yes, they've given us great football stadium, great training facilities, everything. They've set this team up for success, but they can't. They won't be able to carry on the success. They won't be able to bring the club success it's all waffle that comes out of their mouth. I don't believe a word of it. We're going to win the league. We want to win the league, Champions League. No, I don't believe it at all. I just think it's all waffle. And there's so much potential at the club. So much potential. You know, we should be challenging. We should be challenging top of the league with the budget we have, with the money we bring into the club. We should be challenging, but we're not, and I don't think we ever will. Why Enoch is at the club. I don't know what you think, but that's my opinion. So yeah, but going back to the match yesterday, who do you think your man of the match was? Mine was Richie, just for his work rate, his chances he created. Yeah, I just think he looked really good yesterday. Probably his best performance of the season for sure. But he does love a game against Liverpool, doesn't he? But I think that was Richie's probably best performance of the season. And hopefully it's many more to come for him. But why not? Why? We need to. Hopefully, there's many more to come. Hopefully, he's the one that keeps us up. He has a lot of determination and passion. He just doesn't have the quality at times. But hopefully, he is the one that does it. We'll see. There's not many people on it today, so I was hoping some more. But it is what it is. If you are here, to smash the like and subscribe, and I mean, much appreciated. If you're new here, but I'm gonna probably call it there. I'm gonna call it there for the time being. Just want to do a quick live today. Hopefully, if I had more people on, I would have done a bit longer, but I'm gonna call it there. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about the game. But hopefully, it's a sign of many more to come. Hopefully, we get some wins on the board. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and come on, you Spurs.